students, welcome to lecture series on agrochemicals and pest control. In this episode, we will know about recent advances in pest control. Pesticides have a pivotal role in our lives, not only for crop protection in agriculture, but also to avoid the spreading of harmful pests causing human diseases such as malaria. Due to economic and medical reasons, the design of effective agents that control these pests is quite an important task in agrochemical science and in industrial sector. Nevertheless, the non-restricted use of highly toxic insecticides for several decades has provoked negative effects in the environment and the poisoning of non-target species. For these reasons, the development of selective and harmful insecticides is needed. A short overview of some of the recent advances in chemistry of insecticides is presented, with a highlight of their greenness compared with classical insecticides. Synthesis, mode of action and environmental profile of pyrethroids, neonicotinoids and insect growth regulators will be described. Furthermore, the use of biological insecticides such as spinosins, azadirachtin and Bacillus thuringiensis as green alternatives for synthetic insecticides. New approaches to the development of insect control agents have been revealed through the description of natural and synthetic compounds capable of interfering with the processes of development and reproduction of the target insects. Hence, in this episode, the following aspects are going to be seen. They are insect trap, chemosterilant, insect repellent, neem in plant production and application of neem. We shall move into the first aspect, insect trap. Traps are an effective way to attract, trap and monitor insect problems. Trapping begins to break the reproductive cycle and is the first step in identifying and developing controls for pests. Insect traps are used to monitor or directly reduce populations of insects or other arthropods. They typically use food, chemical attractants and pheromones as bait and are installed so that they do not injure other animals or humans or result in residues in foods or feeds. Visual lures use light, bright colors and shapes to attract pests. Chemical attractants or pheromones may attract only a specific sex. Insect traps are sometimes used in pest management programs instead of pesticides, but are more often used to look at seasonal and distributional patterns of pest occurrence. This information may then be used in other pest management approaches. The trap mechanisms or bait can vary widely used. Flies and wasps are attracted by proteins. Mosquitoes and many other insects are attracted by bright colors. Carbon dioxide, lactic acid, floral or fruity fragrances, warmth, moisture and pheromones. Synthetic attractants like methyl iogenol are very effective with tephridid flies. Next is the Dyna trap. The Dyna trap offers a three-way protection plan for insect elimination. First, UV fluorescent bulbs. They produce warm light to attract insects to the Dynatrap. Second, an exclusive coating of titanium dioxide inside Dynatrap produces carbon dioxide, which is irresistible to mosquitoes. Third, the insects are lured to the powerful vacuum fan, where they are collected and trapped into a retaining cage away from the area of usage, providing the user safe pest protection and comfortable living quarters. Next is ultraviolet light rays. Mosquitoes and other flying insects react extremely sensitively to certain wavelength of ultraviolet rays. The Dynatrap's special UV bulbs are made of the highest quality and designed to last approximately 3000 hours. The Dynatrap can attract and capture mosquitoes both in bright and dark outdoors and indoors, and is designed to run 24/7. Next is titanium dioxide coating. Mosquitoes, even in the dark, can easily find where people or animals are by sensing their carbon dioxide and temperature emanations. Scientists consider carbon dioxide as the single most important clue used by mosquitoes for locating a source of blood. Certain parts inside the Dynatrap are coated with titanium dioxide, and when the Dynatrap's special ultraviolet wavelength hits the titanium dioxide, a photocatalytic reaction takes place that produces carbon dioxide. This is the same carbon dioxide that humans exhale and is irresistible to mosquitoes. Next is powerful vacuum action fan. Once flying insects have been attracted to the Dynatrap by warm UV light and carbon dioxide, the Dynatrap's powerful fan serves two functions. It is first used to draw insects into the retaining cage. Then it keeps those insects from escaping using the vacuum action created by the continuous cycle of the fan. The Dynatrap is energy efficient and is designed to run continuously. The fan is so quiet it's hardly noticeable. Next is retaining cage. Insects are drawn into the retaining cage, trapping them until they dehydrate and die. The retaining cage can be removed, allowing the contents to be periodically emptied into the trash. The screened material on the retaining cage allows what has been trapped in the unit to be seen and alerting you when the cage needs to be emptied. A special interchangeable retaining net can also be purchased for use with some Dynatrap models for high catch rates, typically useful in agricultural settings near livestock. Now we shall move into the second aspect, that is chemosterilant for pest control. Nowadays, many individuals around the globe questions if there is any research regarding the introduction of birth control additives to rodent pest. In fact, there have been some laboratories studies conducted in individually caged and penned colonies of Norway wild rats. A chemosterilant has been proposed as one of the effective approach for pest control. This chemical compound causes reproductive sterility in organisms. This chemical is also referred as an anti-compound because it does not allow rodents to achieve an effective sexual encounter. chemosterilants are known for breaking the chain of reproduction in rodents, which reduces the birth rate early in their breeding process. If the production of young rodents are prevented without changing the behavior, then the compensatory factors will not act and the rodent population level will decline. Chemosterilants' actions are susceptible to both sexes of these animals. The estrogens found on the female rodent exert most action against the female. The estrogens create the requirement for the female rodent to receive frequent repetitive dosing. The male rat sterilization has offered the usage of only one dosage of an irreversible sterilant instead of the female rodent. The first implementations of chemosterilants on rodents were on male Norway wild rats, in which scientists received satisfactory results. Scientists caged individually albino rats and wild rats of both sexes. The rats were offered normal laboratory meal and cereal baits, which contained chemosterilant. The rats were offered the cereal bait for one night. 7 days later, the rats were sacrificed and autopsied to check their bodies. They found the presence of some visible lesions located in the epididymis, and they recorded the weight and condition of their tests. Now we shall move into the third aspect, insect repellent. Substance applied to the skin in order to provide protection against biting insects, primarily mosquitoes, ticks, chiggers, fleas and certain flies. The most effective such substances is DEET, that is N,N-diethyl metatolamide, which blocks insect odor receptors for several compounds in human sweat. DEET is a common ingredient in many commercially available insect repellents. Picaridin is also effective. Citronella oil, eucalyptus oil, soya bean oil and other substances also repel biting insects. Although they are typically effective for a much shorter period of time than DEET is permethrin, a persistent contact insecticide that is poorly absorbed by humans. It is used to treat clothing, bedding and to protect against mosquitoes and ticks. The use of insect repellents is often recommended in certain locales because it reduces the likelihood of acquiring malaria, Lyme diseases and other infectious spread by biting insects. Repellents do not protect against bees and other stinging insects. Next is types of repellents. Insect repellents come in many forms, including aerosols, sprays, liquids, creams and sticks. Some are made from chemicals and some have natural ingredients. Insect repellents prevent bites from biting insects but not stinging insects. Next is precautions should be followed when using repellents. Always follow the recommendations appearing on the product label. Environmental Protection Agency recommends the following when using insect repellents. They are: apply repellents only to exposed skin. Do not apply repellents under your clothing. Never use repellents over cuts, wounds or irritated skin. Do not apply to eyes or mouth and apply sparingly around ears. When using repellent sprays, do not spray directly on your face. Spray on your hands first and then apply to your face. Do not allow children to handle or spray the product. When using on children, apply to your own hands first and then put it on the child. Avoid applying repellent to children's hands because children frequently put their hands in their eyes and mouths. Use just enough repellent to cover exposed skin and or clothing. Heavy application does not give you better or longer lasting protection. After returning indoors, wash treated skin with soap and water or bath. This is particularly important when repellents are used repeatedly in a day or on consecutive days. If you get a rash or other reactions from a repellent, stop using the repellent, wash the repellent off with mild soap and water, and call a local poison control center for further guidance. If you go to a doctor, it might be helpful to take the repellent with you. Now we shall move into the fourth aspect, neem in plant protection. Neem, Azadirachta indica, is native to the arid regions of the Indian subcontinent, where it grows to 12 to 24 meter in height at altitudes between 50 to 100 meter with 130 mm of sufficient rainfall per annum for its normal growth. In India, neem is known for its use and it's more utilized in rice cultivation. Neem is also called Arista in Sanskrit, a word that means perfect, complete and imperishable. The Sanskrit name Nimba comes from the term Nimba Tisyastyam Dati, which means to give good health. The seeds, bark and leaves contain compounds which proven antiseptic, antiviral, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, anti-ulcer and antifungal uses. Next is mode of action. Neem acts as a biopesticide at different levels and in various ways. Primarily, it acts as antifeedant, that is when an insect larva is hungry and it wants to feed on the leaf. But if the leaf is treated with neem product, because of the presence of azadirachtin, solaninath, melandroil, there is an anti-persistalistic way in alimentary canal and this produces something similar to vomiting sensation in the insect. Because of this sensation, the insect does not feed on the neem treated surface and ability to swallow is also blocked. Secondly, it acts as oviposition deterrent, that is by not allowing the female to deposit eggs comes from in very handy when the seeds in storage are coated with neem kernel powder or neem oil. It also acts as insect growth regulator. It is a very interesting property of neem product and unique in nature. That is, it works on juvenile hormone. Now we shall move into the fifth aspect, that is applications of neem. Neem oil is extracted from the seeds of the neem tree and has insecticidal and medicinal properties, due to which it has been used in pest control in rice cultivation. Neem seed cake, when used for soil amendment or added to soil, not only enriches the soil with organic matter but also lowers nitrogen losses by inhibiting nitrification. It also works as a nematicide. Neem leaves are used as green leaf manure and also in preparation of litter compost. Neem leaves are also used in storage of grains. Twigs of neem, when tender, is used as green manure after decomposing and widely incorporated in rice cultivation fields. Neem extracts have been found to have insecticidal properties. It is used as foliar spray and in treating seeds in rice cultivation. Neem bark and roots also have medicinal properties. Bark and roots is powdered form are used to control fleas and sucking pest in rice cultivation. Neem has antibacterial, antifungal and anti-nematicidal properties and positive effect in combating several diseases in rice cultivation. Next is neem used as fertilizers. The material left after oil is squeezed out from seeds and it's popularly known as the seed cake. It acts as a biofertilizer and helps in providing the required nutrients to the plants. It is widely used to ensure a high yield of crops. Neem is used as a fertilizer both for food crops and cash crops, particularly rice and sugarcane crop. Next is neem as urea coating agent. Neem and its parts are being used to manufacture urea coating agent to improve and maintain the fertility of the soil. The fertility of the soil can be measured by the amount of nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus it has. There are certain bacteria found in the soil which denitrify it. Use of neem urea coating agent helps to retard the activity and growth of the bacteria responsible for denitrification. It prevents the loss of urea in the soil. It can also be used to control a large number of pests such as caterpillars, beetles, leaf hoppers, borers, mites, etc. Urea coating is generally available either in liquid form or powdered form. Properties of neem urea coating are anti-feedant, anti-fertility and pest growth regulator. Next is neem as fumigant. Neem tree has been used against household, storage pest and crop pest. Neem pest fumigate is available in gaseous state and is used as a pesticide and disinfectant. It is being used by a larger number of countries on a commercial basis by farmers and agriculturalists. This 100% natural product is being exported as it is non-toxic and does not affect the environment. It assumes more importance in developing countries where millions of deaths are reported every year due to the accidental intake of synthetic pest fumigants. This natural fumigant not only kills pests but also affects them negatively by acting as feeding and oviposition deterrents, mating disruption, inhibition of growth, etc. According to studies undertaken, neem fumigant helps to protect stored rice grains from pest. One of the major benefits of this organic fumigant is that pests do not develop resistance to it. This natural product does not leave any residues on the plants. Next is neem as pesticide. Neem pesticides play a vital role in pest management and hence have been widely used in agriculture. There has been an evident shift all over the world from synthetic pesticides to non-synthetic ones. This is largely because of the worldwide spread awareness of the side effects of these synthetic pesticides not only on plants and soil but also on other living organisms. This is a great opportunity for neem pesticide manufacturers to cash in on the growing popularity of natural or herbal pesticides. Neem pesticides are being manufactured and exported to various countries as a lot of research has been conducted to test the safety and efficiency of neem for use of pesticide. Azadirachtin is the main ingredient used to manufacture biopesticide. Neem oil and seed extracts are known to possess germicidal and antibacterial properties which are useful to protect the plants from different kinds of pests. One of the most important advantages of neem-based pesticides and neem insecticides is that they do not leave any residues on the plant. Now we can conclude this episode. There is a move to reduce the use of pesticides in favor of more environmentally friendly methods of pest control. In this lesson, we explored alternative methods including how they work and the benefits and issues associated with each method. Thank you.